Yo, what's good, world? It's your boy Gio, man. Back with another one, man. This one right here, it's really interesting, man. It's about your boy, man. Your boy, Yo Gotti. He been under the radar for a while now, and Jay-Z stuff hyping up now, followed behind because of Diddy. Your boy, Black Youngster, he been out the way, he been cooling, they saying that your boy Yo Gotti, man, he could be a dunner, you know. Definitely a Rico, definitely a lot of time, and definitely some quick thinking he need to be doing, because they saying that it's allegedly, alleged. They're saying your boy straight drop, man. He's telling me he dropping a dime, he's dropping a quarter, he's dropping a $100 bill, man. Benji, man. He eating that red lobster in there, man. They said that, some Roof Chris about to come in tomorrow, man. All I gotta tell you is, man, that's all it takes for people like them to really not want to do the time, and then you like, man, look, I just did this, and then they ain't get paid either, man. Them dudes, see, this the problem. It's the same thing like what I was talking about with the Lil Durk stuff. Like, these dudes talking about balling so hard, man, balling so hard. It's just like even with Diddy, y'all talking about y'all balling so hard. If y'all would have just broke the bread with these people, man, y'all wouldn't be in this situation, man. Y'all spend that on jewelry and cars and trinkets and bottles and your smoke, but you're not gonna pay these dudes to do your hits and take out your competition so you can reign supreme and make more. That sound like a dirty game. Like, people be saying that in hip hop, the music industry, entertainment, it's a dirty game, which it is. Believe me. That's an even more dirty game. The mob and all them people don't even do stuff like that, man. The cartels and all that, they got that stuff organized. Everybody taken care of, everything good. You just gotta do what you do. Get it done. Wow. Yo Gotti, he signed to Jay-Z. Biggest in hip hop. Yo Gotti set a big empire. He's with Angela Simmons, and he can't even pay his own team of hitters to eliminate competition. Because Young Dolph was big competition. Young Dolph was independent and won't sign it to nobody. And this dude was up like, what they say, he was up like 50, 60. And he was projected to be in the hundreds within that next year if he wouldn't have passed. Within like the next year and a half, it'd have been up in the hundreds if he wouldn't have passed. Independent. Came in the game, raped the market, man. Gotti said, you got to get down with the team or it's up. So for me, it's just a dumb thing. And then $100K for big celebrity like Young Dolph to unalive him. It's like, come on, man, this dude's worth, so like, he could have gave that away to you, bro, like, to be honest. And like, so it don't make sense. Like, they should have been compensated. I mean, it's your
Feds arrest Yo Gotti Rico case. Leaked footage. It seems the feds have been tracking down Yo Gotti for many years now, but they really started to crack down on him after Young Dolph's passing. There's always been rumors about Yo Gotti setting up Young Dolph, but never did these rumors have any proof. Well, that's exactly what the feds have been working on all this time. They finally got enough evidence to arrest Yo Gotti. Now, Yo Gotti and 15 other CMG members are facing a RICO case. This is crazy news for the rap industry because we already have so many great rappers in jail already. In fact, Young Thug is currently facing a RICO case right now with the YSL crew. All I know is Yo Gotti is receiving tons of heat from this recent news, not only from the feds, but also from the street as well. Many people are super upset that Yo Gotti set up Young Dolph, and it's shocking to see. Obviously, Young Dolph is a Memphis legend, and we all know that.
Did y'all see these dollar amounts for these hits on these guys? We know that Young Dolph had 100K on his head. Key Glock apparently had 50K. Pre-Woo had 50K. Someone named Moochie Grape had 5K. And then Snoop Bands had 20K. That 5K one must have been a last-minute Instacart order or something, because what? Now, this is, allegedly Big Jook was willing to pay this to get these dudes unalive, but wow.
The Young Dolph footage was bought by the people who didn't want the evidence to come out because they still haven't shown Young Dolph walking through into the cookie shop by himself. This is the main reason why a lot of people believe that everybody was working together to set him up, man. This is not no coincidence. Like, the fact that Young Dolph, the footage and everything, people were trying to hide the fact that this whole thing has something to do with the beef that was already going on, man. If you guys are rocking with Young Dolph, go ahead and put the Dolph emojis in the comment section. I want y'all to like this video, subscribe to the channel, because at the end of the day, if y'all are true Dolph fans, just let us know right now, because you would know that this whole entire thing goes back to the main fact about how Black Youngster, Moneybagg Yo, Yo Gotti, and everybody over there was really trying to get this man. Like, it's not just on one time, but you got to look at how they caught Big Jook. And when they caught Big Jook, he was about to be the person that actually told on the whole CMG. This is why he got set up and taken out, man. And now the Big Jook footage was released. They seen who did it and everything like that. The investigation is still going on, but the witnesses know for a fact that it was a lot of people in that parking lot when they seen it all go down. They seen that white SUV driving off, and that whole thing comes back. They seen that same white SUV in the back of a music video. One thing you got to understand is that a lot of people were telling on themselves. Just because they took the plates off doesn't mean that they weren't in that music video. And the same, it goes all back pointing fingers at Yo Gotti, and now Yo Gotti's on the run. Him, Black Youngster, everybody that has something to do with the CMG beef between PRE, because now the feds are looking at everybody and deciding that the RICO is coming after all of them, man. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain is that Young Dolph, he was the king of Memphis, and a lot of people were jealous because they did not have that title, especially people like Yo Gotti, because he thought that because Young Dolph wasn't born in Memphis that there was no way he was going to be the king of Memphis, but that's just not true. And so they got jealous, envious, greedy, and they wanted all the power. They seen Dolph making all the money, and Yo Gotti, he had to share all of his money and everything. This is why he quickly signed everybody under the contracts. Like, he brought Black Youngster into CMG just so he could be a street dummy and crash out trying to like go after Young Dolph. And Moneybagg Yo, the only reason Moneybagg Yo became famous and popular was because Dolph gave him a free feature, and it turned him up, man. The whole city of Memphis was like, oh, if Dolph did a feature with him, then we gonna go ahead and co-sign. We gonna agree that that's gonna be the next person up. And until Yo Gotti decided to give Moneybagg Yo an offer he couldn't refuse, and Dolph knew that he wasn't going to sign him because Dolph tried to teach Moneybagg Yo how to do it on his own, independent and everything like that, so he could keep all the bread that he was getting. But then once Moneybagg Yo got offered the $500,000 from Yo Gotti for everything, the whole masters and all of that, he owns it, and Jay-Z sold CMG. And so now when you really look at it, you got to realize that it was all basically, they were all in cahoots. They all worked together to set up Young Dolph. It was a lot of people that was on the scene that was already there. The witness 007 said that she seen the two guys walk out the side of the cookie shop. They still haven't shown the back door of the cookie shop's footage. They said they had a whole brand new ADT security footage system because 2 weeks prior to the Young Dolph, they already got robbed basically, and there's footage of them getting, like, the people jumping over the counter and taking the register. How come there's no footage of at least the guys running out the back door of the cookie shop? Because they're trying to hide something, man. It's a lot of people who has something to do with trying to like make sure that that footage doesn't get out, because they know that they was hiding a lot of stuff. It was at least 15 to 20 people that was in on it, because it was multiple cars that was following Dolph the whole time. If you go back and binge watch all of my videos, you will see that Young Dolph was followed to that gas station when he was wearing the yellow shirt. It was at every single car that was parked at the gas pump that was near the vicinity and around Dolph's like whole Ferrari and Corvette. They actually were snooping on him. They weren't buying any gas. How come if anybody pulls up to a gas pump and they don't buy gas and they don't get out of the car and they don't go to the inside of the shop, that means they're doing something weird. They're doing something that's more likely what they're not supposed to be doing. And this is why people got to watch out. Young Dolph already knew to keep his head on the swivel. This is why in the footage it looks so eerie, because he knew it was somebody watching him. So he got up out of there quick. And then you see the white Corvette from Moneybagg Yo. Then you see the big, like that Chevy truck. It was a Tahoe. It was gold. 901 Trigger Trey's Ford truck. Then you seen everything else. The Buick that was following him. It was at least 6 different cars that followed Young Dolph. And then by the time that he got to the actual Ruth Chris Steakhouse, they were waiting for him in the parking lot. Somebody already took Dolph's keys. And then by the time he got to his car, he was like, I can't find my keys. And then that's when somebody popped up out of nowhere and was like, oh man, you Young Dolph, we give you a ride, man. You don't even gotta pay us or nothing like that. And little did he know, as soon as he turned around to go ask them and like peep out how the car looked, somebody threw him in the back of the Bentley truck. They hit him in the back of the head with an iron pole. And this is when everything went lights out, man. They ran through his pockets. It was a shoe left on the scene of that parking lot. They did not pick up for like a few days, and somebody went and took the picture, and it came back to being a Balenciaga shoe the same size that Young Dolph wore, man. I want to send my condolences to Young Dolph, Mia J, everybody that's been affected by this. If you guys are true Young Dolph fans and you want to get justice, comment the Dolph emoji, put RIP Dolph, book King of Memphis, put the crown emoji, put the dolphin emoji, because now we about to get the justice for Dolph, because it's truly deserved. He was a role model in the community. He was giving back to a lot of people. He was paying people's light bills and a lot of utility bills. He was actually sending people off to colleges. He was giving back backpack drives, turkey drives. Dolph was the type of person who made sure everybody was fed when you were supposed to eat on holidays and everything like that. This is the main reason why he came back to Memphis to do the turkey drive, and he was going to do the music video in front of the cookie shop, because he was actually having the cookie shop cater the desserts for the whole turkey drive so that people had a whole 3-course meal, complete meal. And that's the only reason why he was even investing in the cookie shop. He went to the safe. He was supposed to actually have like a cashier's check in the safe of all the money they were supposed to pay him back, and you know that they did not want to pay up. A lot of people realized that the cookie shop people, they actually has their own type of ulterior motives. You can't trust anybody. And when you go and look at what happened to Cookie Raven, what happened to Maurice's brother and everything like that, they all have different things in their history that shows that they are likely people to backdoor Dolph and to set him up and drop the location, man. And this goes back to the fact that it was a lot of crab in the barrel mentality, because once Yo Gotti put the money on Young Dolph's head, everybody was so money hungry, because there's not a lot of opportunities in Memphis. Just search up right now who's the most dangerous city. It's Memphis, and it comes out because Young Dolph isn't there anymore. When Young Dolph was there, people was actually coming up, businesses was happening. Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, they all came up. Moneybagg Yo, everybody had a chance in there, and there was new artists popping up everywhere. It was people who was doing their business. Growth Hero was making a lot of money, but then once they took Dolph away, the whole economy of Memphis went downhill, man, and nobody's investing back into Memphis. Yo Gotti and them, they don't give back a lot. Like when we go and look at it, there's a lot more cases of and instances where Young Dolph was coming back and helping a lot of people, but we don't really see the same exact thing with Yo Gotti and them. All we see is that they come back to that same privé restaurant eating their food and not doing nothing to spread nothing to anybody else. Like when you sit back and look at it, you got to understand that through this whole thing, Young Dolph was the good guy. If Young Dolph was the good guy, then what does it make Yo Gotti, CMG, and all of them others? If Dolph already the good guy, that spot's taken, then they gotta be the people who must have been hating. Because if you truly look at it, the reason why Yo Gotti had a beef with Young Dolph because he was hating on him. He was hypnotized by the hate. Everywhere he went, he heard Dolph music, but he wasn't making no money off of it because he thought that it was his city in the streets, but it was Dolph City to everybody else. And so this is what made a lot of the CMG guys delusional and caused them to crash out, because they couldn't sit there and take it knowing that it was a whole nother person that was beating them at their own game. And this is why a lot of people, man, when you really like sit down and open your eyes and look at the facts of what's really going on, is a revolving door situation. This whole thing's been going on and on. They tried to get him with the 100 shots in Charlotte. They tried to get him in LA. Govan already was a suspect for all of this. So when they went back to Govan, he quickly snitched. He was the mastermind of this whole thing, and he told on Big Jook, and they were trying to get Big Jook to tell on Yo Gotti because that's his right hand man, his enforcer. And they know that they can't get close to Yo Gotti other than his brother. That's the closest thing. And now Yo Gotti might be fleeing on the run because he don't want to have to go down for this whole entire thing, because all the people that he paid to keep it quiet, Yo Gotti was raided because they're still trying to find the mastermind of this whole thing. They know that the beef that Yo Gotti had with Young Dolph is what led to the final moment. It's been going on for many, many years, and everybody in Memphis knows what's going on that's close to the sources. They were talking about how they didn't even want Young Dolph to shine or anything like that. And so this was all fueled by the hate, the jealousy, envy, and greed, and all of the above, man. If you guys are supporters of Young Dolph, go ahead and drop the dolphin emojis in the comment section. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and share. And now that they have everybody from CMG like wrangled up, basically they're interviewing everyone one by one, and they're getting to the bottom of it. They're looking for anybody who's going to basically drop the information to get Yo Gotti. And this was already going on with the previous people that they already had in the Shelby County precinct last year. People like Govan Hernandez, Straight Drop, and Devin Burns, and even Big Jook. Big Jook was already like, they came up to him in his office and basically put him in cuffs because they knew that he had all the info about his brother Yo Gotti, and this is why they chose to get him back then. But they quickly released him and Govan because they already gave up the information. A lot of times it's informants that's inside the group, especially in CMG. Nobody wants to have to go down for all of this and take all the blame. They know who the main person was that wanted to take Young Dolph out. They know who the main person was that actually had the beef and the problems with Young Dolph. You got to remember, the Young Dolph beef was started mainly by one person. That was technically Yo Gotti, because he wasn't beefing with Govan. He wasn't beefing with Black Youngsta First or Moneybag Yo. As a matter of fact, Young Dolph put Moneybag Yo on by giving him a feature. And once Yo Gotti heard that Young Dolph was putting on a certain artist, he went quickly to go sign that person because he thought if Young Dolph liked him, then he's going to be a hit. This is why everybody out of Memphis tries to copy Young Dolph and do the same thing he does, because he had the blueprint to success to make it out that hood. And that's why he came back and was giving back so much to the community. This is what everybody should have been doing. But a lot of people say, especially the ones in Memphis, they say they never seen Yo Gotti and them come around and do any type of turkey drives or try to give back to school supplies or donate to the less fortunate, because you got to understand the greed, the envy, and the jealousy is still amongst them. And so this is the main reason why that they were doing the things they were doing, but they're receiving a lot of payback for it, because you see what happened to their shows. Yo Gotti's show got shot up, Moneybag Yo concert gets shut down, evacuated. The promoters aren't booking them as much no more, because a lot of people realize that they're really Young Dolph fans. The only reason why they was that they actually supported Yo Gotti was to keep the Memphis tradition going. But then now when they see that Yo Gotti was actually trying to make Memphis worse and Yo Gotti was trying to make it a lot better, and so this is why everybody basically turned out to be Young Dolph fans. Like Yo Gotti and them, they're not surprising nobody, because this is how exactly that they've been acting for the longest time. And so people are just starting to see through it and realize that Young Dolph was the good guy in this situation. And so mainly at the end of the day, Now the feds and MPD, they're trying to get the footage together. They're trying to get all the evidence, because now that it's stacked up against them, they're going to try to get Yo Gotti to confess and actually to basically say that he did it so he could take the plea deal. They're offering a lot of time, and they're saying that if all he does is confess to it, then that he'll probably get a lesser sentence. This is the same thing that Govan Hernandez, which is the guy who is supposed to be the muscle of the group, he was seen already doing a lot of like street work for CMG basically. And Yo Gotti, he was the driver. He actually had a whole daughter that was a rapper, and they hit her up because of the payback for sliding for Dolph, man. And a lot of people got to realize that there's so many others that have been affected by this in Memphis, across the whole South, especially like a lot of the upcoming artists who was basically caught on the fence of, are they going to support PRE or are they going to support CMG? And a lot of the street dudes seeing that the only way out is to basically go through CMG, because Dolph not around no more. This is why a lot of people miss Young Dolph. If you guys miss Young Dolph and you Young Dolph fans, put the dolphin emoji, put King of Memphis, put the crown, because that's really what this whole thing was about. Yo Gotti was jealous that Young Dolph was the King of Memphis, and he wanted to have that same title. He wanted people to call him that, but it's only enough room for one king in that whole entire area. And so this is why they try to get him out the way, so that they could come and be the number one. They didn't like the fact that he was making a lot of money and he didn't have to basically sell himself short to their whole entire like program and everything. Because when you really look at the fact that at CMG, Glorilla switched to CMG, and she used to be taking pictures with Young Dolph in the gym. She used to come to the back to school drives and get her backpack so she could go and learn. And it's crazy that she ended up switching up to CMG. This is why a lot of people got to understand that you can't trust nobody. It'd be the ones that be close to you and rooting for you one day that end up flipping and turning to the other side. This is the same reason why half of CMG, they flipping and turning and basically giving the feds the information to take down everybody else. And so that's what's going on. You got to understand that the loyalty is all thrown out the window when you're serving 100 years and you get thrown football numbers in the courtroom, and the judge, they're not going to be taking it easy on nobody, because this is a whole entire RICO case. The feds have a high success rate when it comes to solving cases like this, and they know that the whole entire country and the hip-hop community is watching, and they want to get the justice for Young Dolph. It's all laid out there right in front of everybody. They know who he was last beefing with. They know who the main ops are for Young Dolph in Memphis, and it's the usual suspects. This is the main reason why you see what happened to everybody's like brothers or cousins and things like that from CMG. You had the cookie shop people. They even had some of their people get like hit up, and so this all-out war ended up happening because of the beef that Yo Gotti kept pushing, all because his baby mama liked Young Dolph and she tried to get with him. And this is exactly what Dolph was saying for the longest time, and he couldn't respect the fact that Yo Gotti was trying to throw his artist under the bus and cut him off just to have Dolph join the team, and he didn't like that because he wouldn't do anything like that. He stands on a lot more than just getting like quick money and everything like that. And so what people got to realize is that, man, Young Dolph was really trying to help a lot of people, and this is the main difference between those who tried to like harm him and those who was trying to help him, was that the ones that was trying to help him, man, they were supporting, they were working for his whole entire like programs. Grove Hero, he actually taught Grove Hero how to come up and become a millionaire without having to rap, without having to do shows or nothing like that. He taught him how to do the food truck tours, and basically this is what Dolph was trying to do to all the other artists. He was trying to make them millionaire bosses so that they didn't have to go to somebody like Yo Gotti, because Young Dolph already seen what the options are in Memphis, and that at the end of the day, if you don't have a lot of options, you're gonna have to end up going to Yo Gotti to basically get a helping hand. And so he was trying to teach them how to be their own bosses and make the millions and find ways to do it, just like how he was finding ways to hustle and come up. And you just gotta respect that, man. Because if y'all know how Young Dolph was moving, he was moving in a type of way where he was trying to basically keep the ownership of everything. But then once Yo Gotti, Jay-Z, everybody came to him with all these different offers and everything, and Dolph still wasn't going to join that side. And so this is what got them to be even more mad and angry at him, man. They had some type of pent-up frustration about the fact that Young Dolph was going to stay true to who he was and not actually switch up like how everybody else switches up. You seen how a lot of people switched up and now they co-sign hanging out with Yo Gotti. They acting like Dolph wasn't even a thing when they was really taking pictures with Dolph first, and then now they're around Yo Gotti putting the arm around his shoulder. And the people that was close to Yo Gotti and the people that he thought was going to end up doing the whole hit and doing the setup, now they're turning against him because the feds are applying pressure to everybody, and they know who was part of it and who wasn't part of it, and they're picking them off one by one because they know that black youngster, he was supposed to be the guy that was that basically joined CMG just to be for Young Dolph. And they got the video of what Black Youngster was doing, showing up to the Thornton tombstone and everything. He went to the graveyard site and basically tried to do a diss video to Young Dolph, knowing that this whole thing is basically being watched by the feds because this is what happened. They all told on themselves, and so now they're going after Black Youngster. They're going after Moneybagg Yo because he's the one who had the Bentley truck for that whole time, and the Bentley truck showed up on the crime scene, and they know who was inside of it.
This would be a perfect setup. Yo Gotti got his brother to come back to Memphis like everything was good, then got somebody to sacrifice him, knowing that they still trying to revenge Young Dolph's death. They would think somebody that know Young Dolph did this to Yo Gotti's brother, but Yo Gotti got it done himself. I just think this was a sacrifice. I don't think somebody from Young Dolph camp did this to Yo Gotti's brother. It was time for Yo Gotti to give the devil some souls. And you know they always gotta give a loved one or somebody close to him. And Yo Gotti and his brother was close. This would have been a perfect sacrifice without anybody thinking Yo Gotti got his brother killed. Hey, they do it all the time, allegedly. So people, that's what I think. I think this was a sacrifice. Sitting up there in his white like he a fucking angel. Ain't none of these people in the industry good people. Not when it comes to keeping their money and their fame. They get their own fucking kids killed. Real talk.
And we are back with a day 2 recap of the Young Dolph trial. Day 3 is starting right now, so I guess I'll inform y'all if you haven't been keeping up. So let's start with the medical examiner's shocking testimony yesterday. First, the medical examiner set the tone with her chilling account of the murder. Young Dolph wasn't just shot. He was hit with over 20 bullets, and only 4 of them exited his body.
Okay. So as to the total entry wounds to this victim, how many were there?
20.
20, okay. How about the exit wounds?
4.
Okay. And in your medical opinion, were these gunshot wounds enough to cause death?
They were.
Okay. And within a reasonable degree of medical certainty, did you render an opinion as to the cause of this victim's death?
I did.
But what was the cause of that?
Gunshot wounds of the head, torso, and neck.
Okay. And did you render an opinion as to the manner of death?
I did.
And what was your opinion?
Homicide.
Imagine the weight of that testimony as crime scene photos were projected in the courtroom. The jury, visibly shaken, could barely handle the brutal truth of how Dolph's life was taken. It wasn't just a murder. It was an execution. Now, Jamarcus Johnson did the ultimate betrayal. You see, Jamarcus Johnson, the half-brother of Justin Johnson, took betrayal to a whole new level. In his testimony, he confessed that he helped Justin evade the police, all while keeping Justin's phone in Memphis to create a diversion. The plan? Make it seem like Justin never left town, even though he was on the run. Jamarcus wasn't just playing lookout. He was running Justin's social media, keeping up appearances and maintaining his rap persona, all while the internet buzzed with suspicions that Justin had killed Young Dolph. It's wild to think while the streets were talking about Justin being the suspect, his social media account stayed active, as if everything was normal. Jamarcus's involvement here just turned into something straight out of a movie. A brother helping his sibling dodge the law while helping his rap image. The courtroom must have been reeling from that testimony. And then we have Cornelius Smith Jr., who admitted not only to being at the scene, but also dropped a bombshell. CMG, Yo Gotti's label, allegedly paid $50,000 for his lawyer fees. That's right, Smith's defense was funded by the same camp that had beef with Young Dolph. Justin Johnson's defense jumped on this.
You knew that, just we're all clear here, that money came from CMG, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but yeah.
All right. So you talked today, you got paid for what you just testified to, didn't you?
After I was locked up,
You got paid,
my
right?
lawyer was paid.
You got $50,000 to pay a lawyer, right?
I didn't get it in my hand, correct? I don't know how much it was, but correct, my lawyer got paid.
Okay. $1,000 to represent you. Did you not?
Saying Smith couldn't be trusted, that he was just trying to manipulate the system to reduce his sentence. You see, this revelation brought up the big question: how far does CMG's involvement go? Was this orchestrated by Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother, as Smith claimed? Or was Yo Gotti the real mastermind, pulling the strings and using Jook to execute the plan? We know Dolph had a long-standing feud with them, but this trial is unearthing layers that might implicate more than just people who pulled the trigger. You see, and now the craziest twist that happened: Captain Underpants, aka Justin Johnson, was identified not by the surveillance footage, but by his blue underwear. Yes, you heard that right. His pants were sagging so low during the murder that his blue underwear was caught on camera. And the prosecution wasn't done with him yet. Fast forward to when Johnson went to an apartment complex to get patched up after being shot. He bent over to get something out of his car, and guess what? Those same blue drawers was caught on camera again.
In the homicide video, as he runs away, we can see his pants are sagging.
Yes.
Can we in fact see the color of his underwear in the homicide video?
Yes, we can.
Is it also blue?
Yes.
The prosecution is using this detail to tie Johnson directly to the crime scene. If it wasn't bad enough for Johnson, now his wardrobe choices have come back to haunt him in court, making him look sloppy and giving the prosecution an embarrassing yet crucial piece of evidence to nail him with. So where does this leave us? This trial is no longer just about who pulled the trigger. It's about a much bigger conspiracy. Did Big Jook act alone? Or was Yo Gotti pulling the strings behind the scenes? With CMG funding legal defenses and brothers turning on each other, the stakes are getting higher by the minute. The feds could be eyeing Yo Gotti, and this trial might just reveal how deep the connections really go. As the walls close in on Justin Johnson and the conspiracy around Young Dolph's death unravels, the courtroom is left in suspense. We've got family betrayals, bought witnesses, and even blue underwear becoming crucial evidence. This trial has turned into a full-blown real-life thriller, and day 3 today is sure to reveal even more. So stay tuned, because this roller coaster isn't slowing down. We're just getting to the wildest part of this ride, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.
DA Paul Hagerman says Yo Gotti's late brother Big Jook put out a $100,000 hit for whoever killed Young Dolph, then met with the two suspects before the shooting. Here's a live look inside the courtroom as opening statements continue. The two first witnesses will be family members. Rosalind Freeman breaks down the biggest question that remains: which suspects will we expect to see in court today?
Multiple sources told Fox 13 Jeremy Pierre that Justin Johnson will be the first to stand trial today. Johnson is one of the alleged shooters who shot and killed Dolph in November 2021. He was one of the 4 people charged in that case. The others are Cornelius Smith, the second accused shooter, along with alleged mastermind Hernandez Govan. A 4th person, Jamarcus Johnson, took a plea deal last year, admitting to being an accessory after the fact. We do know that the jury has already been selected and brought in from Nashville for this trial. Fox 13 will be here every step of the way. There will be live coverage, and we will continue to keep you updated. Live from downtown, Rosalind Freeman, Fox 13 News.
So how did you get to be with Justin Johnson this day on November 17th, 2021?
We knew that, you know, they had heat on Dolph and them head or whatever, so.
Who had a hit on whose head?
Big Jook had a hit on Dolph head or whatnot, so.
How do you know that Big Jook had a hit on Dolph's head?
Cause Quit had told me about it, Quit, and, you know what I'm saying, being just.
How much money was it supposed to be?
$100,000 on Dolph head.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Had Justin agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
We all gonna do it together?
Yeah, they been on it, but yeah. Yeah, we had been talked about it.
Okay. This was not something that just happened this day, but something that was in the process for weeks?
Yeah,
How did y'all hook up this day, if you remember?
He had pulled up to get me. He came and got me or whatever.
Where'd he get you from?
He got me from my father's house.
Where's your father's house?
Out of Lamar Sims.
Orange Mound area?
Yeah.
Had either you called him or he called you or anything like this?
He had called me the first time I missed the call. Then he called me back, I answered. He was telling me basically they were pulling up because we already knew what was going on.
When you say you already knew what was going on, you already knew that this is about?
Yeah, because we knew they were doing a turkey drive, so we was actually on our way to Westwood.
Had you and Justin talked about this particular day before?
Like, nah, not the specific day. Like, we just knew that it was turkey drive going every day that week.
Okay. You knew that, is it fair to say you knew Dolph was involved in these turkey drives this week before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we didn't know we were going to catch him, but we knew his artist. You know, everybody had a hit on their head. Everybody had a price on their heads.
From Jook?
Yeah, from Jook.
And that was going to be y'all's business this week?
Yeah, that was our business week.
When he arrived at the house, do you remember what he was driving?
White Mercedes-Benz.
Had you seen that car before?
Nah, I ain't never saw that car.
Did you get in the car with him?
Yeah, I got in.
Was there anybody else in the car?
Nah, it was just me and Justin.
Were there any guns in the car?
Yeah, they was on the back seat in the bag.
Do you remember what kind of guns they were?
A Draco, handgun.
Okay. And Draco, some type of bigger semi-automatic weapon, is that right?
Yeah.
And then a handgun? Do you remember what you were wearing that day?
I had on some gray sweatpants, some orange and white Jordan 1, and a blue Gap hoodie.
A blue Gap hoodie?
With a do-rag on.
With a do-rag on. Did y'all have gloves?
I had my own gloves.
You had your own gloves?
He had his own gloves.
When you got in the car, did you have your gloves on?
Nah, I ain't have the gloves on.
You said Justin had his own gloves?
Yeah, he had his gloves on. Some black gloves.
He had his black gloves on before he picked you up?
Yeah.
Does he get out of his car and pick you up, or do you go up to the car? How's that work?
Nah, I got out the house, came out the house, and got on in the car.
Off to do the mission?
Yeah, do a mission. Try to catch somebody.
Try to catch one of the rappers?
Yeah, one of them.
At the Turkey Drive in Westwood?
In Westwood, yeah.
What happens after y'all get in the car?
We went back on Bradley Street. He got some out of Expedition truck that he had parked on Bradley Street. And then we took the back street and we was at Lamar Airways.
Y'all were cool with each other, is that right? You and Justin?
Yeah.
He gets back in the white Mercedes?
Yeah, he get back in the white Mercedes and we take the back street to, we was at Lamar Airways. We finna get on the expressway, going to the expressway.
Okay. Bradley to Dedrick, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And then y'all are going to get on the expressway.
Yeah, we finna get on the expressway on Airways.
Okay, but and this is Airways that we see.
Yeah, it's Airways.
Okay, what happens once y'all get to Airways?
We hit the light. Dolph and come clean across the light.
That surprised you? See him like that?
Yeah.
Did you say anything, or did Justin say anything?
We was like, there go Dolph right there.
All right, what did y'all do?
We received the trailer. Proceeded the trailer.
Did you see him pull off here to the cookie store?
Yeah, he pulled in the cookie store.
What'd y'all do?
Made the block. Came with the bagway. I jumped out. We started shooting.
All right, well, let's back up here though. We saw him pull off of Airways to here, is that right?
Yeah.
Y'all, can you see my little pointer?
Yeah.
Y'all would be traveling this direction on Airways, is that right? Then did y'all do a crazy U-turn or anything, or what'd y'all do?
Nah, we came with the back street.
Following the clicker, is this what y'all did?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to the light, made the loop around.
Did you see him get out of his car like this?
Nah, I ain't seen him get out the car.
Okay. Say y'all?
Yeah, that's us right there.
Stop it here.
It's me.
Can you stop it? All right. We're gonna back up. I wanted to, back up a little bit. All right. First guy out of the car, who's that?
It's me.
That's you? Which one of those do you have?
I got the little Draco stab on.
Okay, that's that semi-automatic weapon, is that right?
Yeah.
You ever shot that thing before?
Nah, I ain't never shot it.
That's your Gap hoodie, is that right?
Yeah, that's me.
That's you, who are you shooting at?
Young Dolph.
All right, now back it up again, Miss Iris, if you would.
I want to do. He said, no, I ain't taking a plea. He didn't take it, and we stood down. I prayed. I thank God for all the supporters all over the world, people who were supporting me, texting me, DMing me. I appreciate the love, and the love. All the prayer warriors, I'm thankful. God is good. He did his big one. They used my son rap lyrics against him. How dare they do that? It's a freedom of speech. They just did so much corruptness in this case, and they threw things against the wall and it didn't stick. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I just got so much emotion right now. I'm full. Day in, day out, going to work, having a personal life, coming back down here, sleeping in the courtroom. They having to wake me up, doing this thing over and over and over again repetitiously. Every day. My son stood up 30 months. My son stood up. And we was victorious. I'm thankful to God that a mother love went beyond the world. And I'm thankful. I never gave up on my son. Never. He said, Mama, I'm not taking it. I'm standing up. And I stood right by him every day. Every day of the week, I stood by my child. And he said, no. And I said, I'm going to stand with you. I'm going to stand with you to the end. And we stood down to the end. You never give up. No matter what's thrown against you. You never give up. Never. And he stood down. And I'm right here every day. Every day I stood up with him. Every night I prayed with him. And I told him, son, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. And I'm thankful to the people all over the world that prayed, gave me encouragement. He gave me encouragement. Big Jeff, Miss Sylvia, everybody around me. Taylor, Cole, I got so many people, my family members in Miami, Florida. Everybody that gave me hope and encouragement. India Monte stood every day. He watched them say bad things about him and disgrace him. And I had him and I raised him. They divulged his character. They said bad things about him, but we got the victory. And in life, you never give up. Never. You never give up, no matter how bad it look. God said he'll make your enemy your footstool. I look to the hills where my help come from. I had bad days, I had good days, I had emotional days, but I damn if I was gonna give up. And I'm thankful for everybody that's been around me in my life who encouraged me. I'm emotional beyond words. I am emotional beyond words, beyond measures. A mother love. I never will give up. And I taught him that to give up, never give up. No matter what the traditional system say about him.
Why do they keep trying to make it a rap beef between you and Gotti, though?
If it's something about you I just don't respect, Roger, I can't sit and fake and
and act like it's all good.
That's understandable.
Know what I'm saying? Right. Like the first time I even met little dude, go in the studio. First time. He sent everybody out the studio. Like, let me holler at dog. Like, man, you got your own everything, bro. You popping. You like, but you got the money, you got your team, you got this, you got that. You like, bro, I'm telling you, we can do this, we can do that. You ain't like Zilla. I ain't gotta hold your hand like Zilla. You ain't like Starlito. I ain't gotta hold your hand like Starlito. I ain't gotta babysit you like them. It's my first time meeting you. You gonna really sit and downplay your artist and throw your artist up on the bus to try to persuade me in to come over there? So it's like a red alert the first time I met him.
You feel like
I can't respect that.
Me?
No, it's just I can't respect that.
Yo Gotti speaks on Beef with Young Dolph, Part 4.
Some of these risks we taking now, I don't even look at them as big risks. You said you print money every day. Yeah. You lose some money, you get it back. We come from where the things you lose, you couldn't get back. You can't get time back from your freedom. You can't get your life back. We come from taking them type of risks.
Whenever I had phones and shit in the joint, man, Dolph would sit on the phone 3-4 hours. You smell me? Just talking, just vibing. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the niggas that when Queen sent him over songs for me, he jumped right on it. Whenever any one of my people be around him and say a free ride little thing, he do it. Whenever my family needed some money, he send it. You smell me? So like with Dolph, you know, I gotta choose that side. Why? That man in the ground. He got kids out this motherfucker that growing up without a dad. How the fuck I look? I ain't got no beef with your guy or nobody that's with him. Or whatever. I ain't saying he did it. I ain't saying that. Yeah. Whoever did whatever they did. But for me to be fucking with a nigga that this man was hating, you know, Yo Gotti was my favorite rapper all my life. But this man been fucking with me and my family and helping me with my livelihood and helping me feed my kids and shit. And looking out for my neighborhood. He the reason why he contributed to all we have today. For me to goddamn be fucking with some people and that man dead that he disliked it, and his wife, his girl out here raising them motherfucker by herself, I ain't doing that. I ain't saying I'm finna go over here and step on home and do none of that shit. I'm just saying it ain't the right thing to do. If your man's in the ground that you was fucking with and he didn't fuck with these people, I'm not finna do it. I ain't saying, hey, everybody, let's go to war. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying I'ma move right. If Goldmouth died today and he was beefing with a nigga, I'm not finna go. If Goldmouth died today and Jesus wanna come embrace me, I'm not doing that. All right, Jesus. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm from a different space. Like we don't be in certain situations. Messy shit, bullshit. We don't do that.
Yo Gotti lost his brother, Big Jook, in Memphis, man. You know, people are kind of saying it reminded them of the Duck situation, broad daylight, kind of, really brazen, man. It seems like more of this is happening, more and more, public, like you said, if they want to get you, they're going to get you.
They're going to get you.
Man,
that's the best time to get somebody. Broad daylight. That's the best. Hide at night. When it's night, niggas know to stay out the way and get out the streets and tuck low and sit in them backyard. In broad daylight, niggas more comfortable to move around. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't feel like you're going to get them in broad daylight. And then, bam.
Yeah, man.
He should have been moving better than that, though. Y'all know what y'all got going on out there. You should have been, you know what I mean? You should have been moving a little better than that, bro.
Got the crowd out they seats, one step closer to the big ring. Courtside seats so close I could trip a referee. Seen them draw the foul and one, that's 3. Go. The reason